Hey everyone, today for you guys I am going to be doing a couple of different first impressions on some new drugstore items that I've picked up. There are so many new drugstore, I don't know what I was trying to say, so many new drugstore products out that I have been really wanting to try, and so I thought that I would just do a bunch of them on camera for you guys. Very random. I got a foundation, a mascara, some lashes, and a lipstick. I think I might hold off on the lashes just because I actually want to show you guys the mascara and how that performs first, and lashes are lashes. So anyway, I am going to start by going into this mascara because I feel very bare right now with any on my eyes. This here is the new Plumpify Blast Pro mascara from CoverGirl. I hate the name of this. Oh my god. Plumpify Blast Pro. Like, well, I don't know why, but it just sounds disgusting to me. I absolutely hate it. But I'm hoping that the mascara is good. CoverGirl mascaras are kind of funny because I usually never get into the whole hype of them, but every single one that I've tried I really enjoy. Like, there's really not a CoverGirl mascara out there that I don't like. So the way that the packaging comes is you can see the wand on one side and then the actual mascara tube is on the other. The little wand piece isn't wanting to come out very nicely, so I'm gonna have to like break this box a little bit. So this is just what the wand looks like. It is just kind of like a spiraled rubber bristled wand. You can see here as you turn it. It also has one of those kind of torture balls on the end, which is kind of nice to get like those inner corner lashes. So we are going to just, I actually love mascaras that come like this. I like it when, you know, this is a little bit easier to access, but I love this like two-step process of, oh, so satisfying. The mascara, now that I've totally destroyed the box, claims to be a double action brush that plumps and lifts lashes. It's got a plumping formula to build volume and separation. So I am just going to zoom you guys in and start applying this. I have curled my lashes already. See how this goes. Really seems to be able to reach into the inner corners quite nicely. I can't really talk and do this, so I'm just going to apply it. Then I'll probably tell you guys more about what I think. Alright, so there is one coat. Pretty, I don't know, I would say kind of average. We'll definitely go in with another one. But really good volume. You know, I'm not seeing tons in the lengthening department, but it doesn't claim to lengthen, so I'm not too upset about that. Formula is nice. It's not too wet. It's not too dry. Like most CoverGirl mascaras, it's the perfect in between, which is what I've always really enjoyed about them. So it doesn't get super messy. For as big of a wand this is, I'm really surprised that it's just not like getting everywhere. It's very easy to use, even though it is a larger wand. And I will say that some parts of my lashes, like on my outer corners, kind of seem a little bit difficult to get to. But what's really nice about having that end is I can just go in there and I can start kind of flicking that up so that I can really make sure that all my lashes are getting evenly coated. I'm just going to go in now that it's probably semi-tacky, and we'll try another coat. Oh yes, second coat, way better. Wow, that's really impressive. I hope that it is picking up. Really nice application there on the second coat. Really built up evenly. I get a lot more volume, a much more of kind of a dramatic appearance. You guys can just kind of see the difference there. Overall, just really impressed with that second coat. I'm going to go in now and do this eyeball, and then I'll come back and show you guys the finished result. Wow, I am seriously loving this. I am so impressed. So there's kind of a side-by-side one coat versus two coats. As I said before, you can just really see the difference that two coats makes. And there is two coats on both. Yes, really impressed and really loving that mascara so far. Really think that's pretty. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna go in with the false lashes I bought. I will show you guys though what they are. They are the new Kiss Blooming Lash. They're kind of like a double layered lash, but still supposed to be natural. I'll have these on in a video and I'll be sure to show you guys them, but I really want this mascara to be the focus. So just gonna do that for now. I also want to mention something that's kind of random, but I so much appreciate. On the actual box of the CoverGirl mascara, I love that they have a before and after that does not include false eyelashes, or what many brands call lash inserts. If you guys can see there, that is totally mascara on a bare lash. Oh my god, like when was the last time you actually saw a company go in and just apply the mascara and not actually add false eyelashes? On to the foundation, which I am so freaking excited about. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation. I know everybody's been talking about this recently, and so I decided to go in and buy it. I went to seriously 3 different Walgreens and Bed Bath & Beyond just to try to find this thing. Like, I hunted this down. I picked up the shade W2, and getting it home, I am so scared that this is going to be too like orangey. W2 is my shade in the L'Oreal True Match and the Lumi, just the regular liquid. So I don't understand why this is so beigey and so, I mean, you guys can see there, it's just so orange toned, which is really disappointing. But anyway, you open it up, there's your foundation. I picked up a brand new Real Technique sponge, so this is what I'm going to use to apply this. Just kind of get in there, just kind of did one big glob. Like I said, W2 is the shade, and we'll see how this goes. It looks so funny when it first goes on. I know a lot of people, this is like so cold. It must be really cold in my room or something. I know a lot of people have commented that this is a very like wet foundation. And then a little bit goes a long way. So I think that my one little dab, it's honestly covering my entire face right now. Let's go in and let's blend. Yeah, this shade is way too pinky toned for myself, which is really disappointing because I specifically went to 3 different Walgreens just to try to find this particular shade. They had those end shades, but I'm W2 in the other one, so I don't understand why they would have changed that up. I love how spreadable this is, and I love how such a little bit goes such a long way. Use the other side of my sponge here just to kind of soak up some of that excess. I mean, you guys can see here, very dewy. You can just see that amount of shine that's being reflected off of my face. If my eyebrows look a little bit red, it's because I just went and I got them waxed. So, but yeah, the coverage, I'm honestly so impressed by how well this covers. Okay, so far, I really like the entire finish of it. Like, I know that it is very glowy. It's definitely kind of wet looking, but personally, I actually really enjoy that. I think that it looks quite nice. I am going to go in and powder though, and I am going to conceal. I'm just going to work on doing that stuff real quick, and then I'll come back and show you guys the rest of my face and how everything applied on top of it. So this is the face with the rest of the makeup on. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so you can kind of see the finishes and everything. I would say it looks very natural on the skin, but definitely leans on the glowy side of things. And by natural, I mean, I think that naturally your skin wants to kind of be glowy, you know, kind of like that fresh moisturizer kind of a look. I wouldn't say it's overly shiny or overly dewy, but you can definitely tell. I don't have a highlighter on and I wore a matte blush. I mean, you can just kind of see some of that, you know, reflection that comes off of it. I concealed a tiny bit, but I really want the foundation to sort of show through, so you can kind of see that it doesn't cover absolutely everything. It's not, you know, a completely canceling foundation. I think that for me, if it was more yellow toned, it actually would do that. My main thing is I want to know, is this going to break me out? Because sometimes with more dewier moisturizing foundations, they can be too emollient and they clog my pores. As far as how the powder went on top of it, very similar to almost any other emollient, you know, sort of dewy foundation I've tried. If you powder well first, you're going to have a very good application. However, in maybe the spots that I didn't powder as much, you can definitely tell that it can get a bit more patchy just because that foundation wants to cling to that powder so much because it's so wet and so dewy. I'm now going to go in and use my final product, which is a product from Rimmel, and this is their brand new The Only One lipstick is what this is called. So it's supposed to be your all-in-one. It's supposed to have your color, your moisture, it had 4 different claims, which obviously here on the tube it doesn't say anything, but it's supposed to be like your ultimate lipstick. I got this in the shade Cheeky Coral just because I wanted to see how these kind of red tones played up on my brand new fresh red hair, so I'm very excited to try this. Big thing that I don't like about it being a drugstore product, it came like this with no sealant or anything over it. So it's nice because you can open it up and you can look at it while you're in the drugstore, but I mean, you really want to inspect that tip to make sure that it doesn't look like it's been messed with at all, because this would be a very, very easy product for someone to go swatch or for someone to go apply because it doesn't have that seal on it. So just be careful of that. But I'm doing this just on slightly moisturized lips. I've kind of let my chapstick now sink in for a really long time. Obviously my lips are unlined. Let's just see how this works. Very, very smooth application. So application is super, super smooth. The product is very thin in texture, but surprisingly pigmented for how, I don't know, just kind of slippery it feels initially. I will say though that the more you have it on, it definitely sort of dries down a little bit, becomes a little bit more thick. The thing that I like most about this is actually like the scent of it. No, I shouldn't say it's the thing I like most. Honestly, I think that the actual product itself is great, but I hate the smell of Rimmel lipsticks typically. It's one of the main reasons why I never buy a Rimmel lip product. I think that the smell is absolutely atrocious and I can't stand it. This smells like soap. It really is like a clean, slightly fruity, like there's definitely an undertone of some sort of a fruit, you know, smacking my lips together and sort of smelling it. It just kind of reminds me of like a clean, soapy kind of a scent, which is different for a lip product, but comparatively to the other Rimmel lip products, I think that this is a million times better. My lips right now are really chapped and dehydrated, and you cannot sense that at all with this lipstick. Definitely just glides right over that, and it really sort of masks it, because I think that the more emollient texture and then just kind of the lightweightness of it all, it doesn't pick up on it. I love this. Like, I actually think that this color too, this is gorgeous. I absolutely am adoring the shade. So Cheeky Coral, right on. These are a little bit more expensive than the typical Rimmel lipsticks. I think usually Rimmel lipsticks fall around like $4 or $5. This is about $8, but I definitely think that this formula is way better than any other Rimmel lipstick I've ever tried. So anyway, here we are. I'm just gonna give you guys the time real quick. It is, oops, it is 2:13 in the afternoon. Anyway, I'm gonna go run some errands, kind of take on my day. I will meet up with you guys here in a little bit. Bye-bye. Hey guys, so I'm back here for a midday check-in. It's now 5:22 in the evening, so this has been on for a total of 3 hours. I know that's not like a majorly long amount of time, but I thought that I would still pop back and show you guys how everything's doing. The foundation is surprisingly holding up really well, but I mean, honestly, for 3 hours wear, that's what I would expect. I did powder this very minimally, and I didn't put on a primer though, so for a very dewy foundation to still be looking good, I think is important. It is getting slightly more shiny around the nose, but that's just where I tend to get more shiny. Other than that though, I'm not noticing like an excess amount of oil or grease or anything like that peeking through. It is settling slightly into fine lines around the nose, so I feel like if you have more mature skin, this might not work for you unless you do prime and powder well underneath and over it. Just because if I'm having a little bit of that issue, I can only imagine what that would be like for more, you know, mature type of skin. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal for me in the future. This is definitely a foundation that I will powder more and I will prime more, just because with dewier foundations, I like to do that just as a precautionary step, but this is really looking good. The shade is still, it's not absolutely perfect, but I must say that actually throughout the day, it's not like oxidizing or getting worse. It actually seems to be more so like melding in with my skin and looking better, so that's really good. Onto the mascara. Hasn't smudged, budged, transferred anything. Like, it's still holding on rock solid, which is great, because I'd be really pissed if after 3 hours it was all over the place. So that's good. And the lipstick, I'm really impressed with this, because 3 hours of wear for a lipstick is kind of a good halfway point. And I was drinking earlier today from my Starbucks, and you can see there is a lot of product here on this cap. Now, I have not at all retouched this. So when I was walking around and I was drinking from this, I was thinking that I almost said foundation, but that my lipstick was totally wearing off. I'm sitting in my car and I'm thinking this lipstick is still super, super amazing. Like, I don't think that looking at me, you would think that this has worn for 3 hours with, you know, a lot of drinking. So that is great. So freaking impressed with this lipstick formulation. It feels super smooth, still really moisturizing. A lot of that pigment and a lot of that initial shine is still there. And it's not really feathering too much either. I will be back for a final checkup. It is now about 8 o'clock at night, so I'm here for the final check-in. So we've done a total of 6 hours. Definitely not as long as it could be, but I'm ready to take off my makeup and just relax, so I'm gonna end it right here. The foundation definitely is a bit more oily. I don't know if it's really gonna pick up too much on camera, but I'll zoom you guys in. I'm noticing it a bit more. And you guys, please ignore my giant, like, forehead zit there. Bit more on my forehead, definitely. My nose is getting kind of shiny. Right around here. I'm just gonna zoom you guys out. Whoa, that was a nice angle. Kind of settling into, like, lip lines, like, right around here. And just generally around my nose area, it just looks like it's been worn for a long time. Even though 6 hours, honestly, isn't near as long as, like, some people wear theirs, so I feel like, and typically I like a good solid at least 8 hours is what I need. So I'm not giving up on it because I do really like the finish and I like the formulation so far, and I feel like it's still a good foundation. I just strongly think that it needs a primer underneath it just to help it. But other than that, the other products we have going on here, the mascara honestly did great. It hasn't smudged, it hasn't faded. Zoom you guys here on it. My eyes might not look the best right now because it's been after a while, but hopefully the mascara still looks good for you guys. Really, really impressed with this. Like I previously mentioned, no like upper eyebrow mascara smudges, nothing underneath, nothing on the sides. Really, really good. What I would typically expect from a CoverGirl mascara because they just tend to work really well on my lashes. So not disappointed. I will continue to use and love this mascara and it'll definitely be in a favorites video. The lip color, I just ate an entire meal. I had steak, really greasy steak, and asparagus and French onion soup. So this has been through a lot and I have not retouched it. Definitely it's kind of doing the thing where on the lip line, you know, it's definitely more intense than it is on the center of the lip, which just kind of happens naturally. But I'm really impressed, honestly. Like, this is a very, very long-wearing lipstick for how creamy and moisturizing and kind of shiny that it is. I wasn't expecting that at all. Now, this may be particularly because I have a brighter shade. I know sometimes nude shades tend to wear off a little bit more, but I'm not really noticing a staining effect. Like, there's some parts of my bare lip here, and they're not stained. So I'm super impressed. I'm definitely going to be picking out more of these because I love this. But anyway, that is it for this first impression. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and found this kind of mixed product one kind of fun. I know that I had a lot of fun doing this. I love experimenting with new makeup, and so being able to experiment with a couple of new things and talk to you guys about it is really fun. So that is it for this one. I hope that you guys have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.